What's up, y'all squad? This is your boy Yakrates. This is your review for the Real Housewives. Lies. Yeah, Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. I was about to say the Real Housewives of Potomac. That's why I had to catch myself. Season 1, Episode 2. It's morning. They slept the night away. Melissa's upset because Ramona, I guess, did not want to share her tennis time with her. And she said, okay, well, just like I scheduled this, you could schedule it too. Not a Ramona fan in the least, but I agree with that. And again, I felt like this was Melissa trying to have a storyline. And did I? I don't think I wrote it down. No, I'll get to it. I'll get to it because we've come back around to it. So Luann, I guess she went swimming, but she has a towel over her. She flashes Melissa. Kenya joins them. She flashes Kenya. Cynthia joins, and both Cynthia and us as the viewing public got flashed. But her body's put together. Gotta give it to her. So now we're at breakfast. Kenya says to us that she's willing to give Ramona a second chance. Better than me. Ramona is asked about John and her ex. And then she mentions that she was a trendsetter, with what she was wearing in the gym. And they all was looking like, so you was able to create a whole trend in one gym. And in that one gym it was able to spread. She's delusional. We know it already. Melissa then brings up tennis in front of the group. And Ramona says, okay, well, you can have the last 20 minutes of my 60-minute session. I don't think she took it. But still, it's just like, okay, we're trying to create moments and you are falling short. Cynthia and Teresa go off walking. Cynthia is bonding with Teresa, and calls her sweet. I don't know if that's the word that I would use, but okay. Okay. Teresa said she was surprised that Kenya stood up for her the night before when it came to dealing with Ramona. And you have Cynthia saying like, hey, that's how Kenya is, if she rides for you, she rides for you. And then you have Teresa saying, well, Melissa didn't stand up for me. And I'm looking like, see, it's always there. Then she mentions the Godfather, and you never go against family and all this other stuff. Yet she allowed a rumor to be perpetuated about Melissa on New Jersey. There were times that Melissa was being, people was coming at Melissa, and she did not defend Melissa. But you want Melissa to defend you every time. Like, I came with Teresa. Like, granted, I am enjoying this calm version of her because she turned the hell up last season. If y'all saw last season, y'all know we're not going back down that road. Anyway, um, let me see. Oh, and then she also mentioned that nobody on her cast comes to her defense at all. Well, in essence, they deal with you with kitty gloves, but do you blame them? Especially with your shenanigans. Whatever, Teresa. Anyway, they talk about Teresa's marriage. She gives her the rundown, and the whole going to prison, losing her mother, this, that, and the third. So, yeah. So now they're on the yacht. Kenya says she's in love with Melissa. Okay. Um, Never gonna get it because she wear shorty short arms over there. So no, no. Let me see. Ramona and Teresa bond over their past of being both buyers and working at Macy's. I guess. I mean, again, that storyline came and went so dang on fast. So then they discuss, what they've learned more about each other. Like, did you learn like that whole thing? But it's only been a day. But they have had some serious conversations, so I'll give them that. Ramona says, she Googled Kenya, which is kind of why what happened. And Luann brings up being Googled because she said that there was one point where she was talking to someone. They called her, but she missed the phone call. By the time she got back in touch with that person, he had already Googled her and saw her mugshot. So she was just like, so understandable. So I mean, but let's be honest now. We do live in a day and age to where people do get Googled, people do get background checks done. People sometimes, like sometimes people, if they got your name, they gonna sit here and try to find all your social media handles just to see what it is that you're putting out there. It happens. It happens. Is it fair? Not really, because like I said, social media doesn't really tell everything. But again, you never know. Moving on. Ooh, excuse me. So Kenya asked Luann about her last marriage. Ramona leaves because she heard it before. I want y'all to remember that because she said she heard it before, right? Okay. Which at the same exact time, a lot of us we've heard stories more than one time that a friend has told, and it's like, so it's really that hard for you to just sit there and just listen, or you can pretend like you're listening and be thinking about something else. Really, not that bad, but whatever. So then, um, Ramona returns and she brings them lip gloss that her friend made, and this is pretty much just product placement, product promotion, to where she can do this, which is cool. But it's like Luann is still in the midst of trying to tell her story, so now you literally disrupted the mood because you heard it before. You go and grab gifts, come back, and now you're passing out gifts, and she hasn't fully finished her story. So now you have stolen this moment from her. And then Kenya is upset that Ramona, took that moment from Luann. Ramona says in her confessional, that she was married for 22 years. Luann was married for 1 year, but you don't see me cry, ma'am. You are a liar. And at the same exact time, I forget which reunion it was, but again, pick one. But when Andy asked you about your husband's infidelity and you got stern with him and was telling him that you didn't want to discuss it, it's along the same dang on lines. But you're doing way too much. I told y'all I don't like Ramona. I tried to told you. Y'all just don't want to listen to me. Um, Melissa is trying to get Ramona to hear Luann's story because it's just like, and here's the other thing, y'all. I don't know. I highly doubt that they're friends, but you are castmates. Y'all was you wanted her to have your back, but in this moment you are leaving her high and dry. That's messed up. Ramona makes it about her by saying it pushes buttons because the press said that she dated Tom, which is Luann's ex-husband, and that was a trigger. Luann is upset because she's being selfish. Ramon doesn't think so, but Ken's like, no, you're being selfish because you're making it about you. And here's what she told on herself. Ramona said she left to get her and Luann a drink, and you're making this a big thing. But I thought you left because you heard it before. Okay, I'm just saying, for those of y'all who don't watch New York, I'm trying to let y'all see, how pathological this woman is. Okay. So Kenya and Luann excuse themselves. Then eventually all the women, disperse. You have Melissa bouncing on Teresa's lap. Then you have her groping Kenya. Cynthia and Kyle go off to the side to have a private conversation. And Cynthia wants to talk to Kyle about marriage because she's newlywed. I believe she said 6 months. Yeah, kind of makes sense when this would have been recorded. So 6 months. And they talk about women sliding to their man's DMs and how Kyle said Mauricio don't know how to use Instagrams, but it was a whole lot of people sliding into his DMs. And I was on somebody's channel today, and somebody said up in that live that Mauricio was trying to holler at her, and this, that, and the third. And I was just like, ooh. But nevertheless, I ain't one to gossip, so you ain't heard that from me. Cynthia shares, that she needs to work on her communication and her tone. And I can appreciate that. That is something that when you're in any type of relationship, whether it be, dealing with relatives or whatever, is you have to be able to go inward, figure out what your issues are and work on them, to better help everything work. So the fact that she knows that her communication sucks and that she has a tone, which we saw that tone later in the episode, got it. So now they're back at the villa. She's having the Bailey Q. Cynthia made potato salad. I'm bringing it up for a reason because I hopefully I circle back to it. Kenya has two stylists helping her get ready, but she ends up being 67 minutes late. Cynthia shows the awards, like who is the prettiest, who is the this, who is the that, and Kyle makes it a big deal over who is the sexiest and who is the prettiest. Just like why we as women have to do that, this, that, and the third. And what I would say, and it's just some real stuff. This isn't your event, ma'am. And if you feel away, you could easily have been like, "Hey, Cynthia, can I talk to you over here?" Or you could talked about it, or you could just say, "Hey, Cynthia, can I talk to you for a second? Like, I don't really agree with this. I know you may have good intentions. I just don't feel good about it. But what I'll do is I'll just like skip out, or I don't want to participate." But she made it a big deal. And again, I guess she is so used to dealing with some of the women on Beverly Hills. Cynthia wasn't having it. Cynthia was not. Now we did end up getting 50 Cent. And when I tell you at one point, if I wrote it down here, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Kenya finally arrives. Now Kyle explains her position to Kenya, and Kenya was saying, those aren't fair questions. And I'm looking at Kenya like, ma'am, what are you doing? Now, one thing that I've seen Kenya do is she sometimes gets so caught up in making television that she's not reading the room. And I think this is what was happening here. Because as a friend, yes, I would feel a way. If you feel these are unfair questions, tell me. Don't tell this person over here that you just met. Come talk to me. Straight up, because now it's just like, cracks in the foundation, right? So, Kenya also had got some macaroni and cheese, and she started eating before the other lady. So not only were they waiting on you for 67 minutes, they hadn't eaten yet. And the first thing you do when you get downstairs is go grab something to eat. That is so damn inconsiderate. It really is. Like, I understand it, because hey, if you're hungry, you're hungry, but still, that's inconsiderate. It really is. So Cynthia is not happy with Kenya because not only were you late to something that I am putting on, because she even said I would never be late to anything that Kenya's having, and we know if she was, Kenya would have a cow, because Kenya was upset with Portia, and I'm being nice by calling her by her proper name, because she was late to the engagement party for Cynthia and Mike. So come on now. It's revealed in the next episode why she was late. But again, we're not there yet, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But there's that. Then you come down here and you went and got food knowing good and well none of us have eating. So now you're truly being inconsiderate. And then when you have somebody sitting here dissing my game, you want to sit here and agree with them? Cynthia was mad. Now, to Kenya's defense, and it's really not a defense, but she was saying if they were in Atlanta, that would be one thing, because that is what they do. They're shady, they're this, they're that. This is a whole different group of women. Probably not the thing to do. Okay. And I can see that, but still, you should try to have your friends. And at the same exact time, it's not like Cynthia was doing anything malicious. Now, was she being shady and petty? Hell yeah. That the Bailey, yeah. If y'all remember the other Bailey, yes, they get shady. So it could go left. Anyway, so as the girls answer the question, she thanks the first who. Thank you for being a team player. Thank you for being a team player. Well, that was aimed at Cal, and Cal caught it. Cal and Cal makes faces, and I'm so mad she's a Capricorn. I really am. But Cal is just sitting there, just like, But yeah, and now, and Cal is really sitting in it. So Kyle's question was, "What is your biggest insecurity?" And Cynthia asks all the women, "If you feel comfortable, why don't we all answer that question?" And they do it. Breakthrough. Then Cynthia says she's enjoying this. And Cal says, "I'm enjoying this too." Now she cut. Even though I think the sentence was over, I don't think that Cynthia was done saying what she had to say. But when I tell you if looks could kill because Cynthia gave her the look, I know the hell you did not just not only diss my game, then you gonna cut me out. Ooh, that was funny. And Cal is very apologetic. Like I want to say for about 5 good straight minutes, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. Okay. And then Kenya had the who was the sexiest award, and Kyle gets her ass on the table and start crawling over to Kenya, even though they were sitting across from each other. And that reminded me of Alicia Keys when she was doing a tribute to Prince, and she started climbing the piano, and Prince is sitting there just like, what the hell is she doing? Um, and pretty much that's pretty much it. And in the confessionals, Kenya had the shadiest award, if I'm not mistaken. So she was like, well, since I have the shadiest award, Cindy's potato salad should have been left in Atlanta. And that was the episode. So, pretty good. Pretty good. I actually talked for longer than what I thought I would because I thought I would have been done in 10 minutes. But nevertheless, this is your review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see you all for episode 3.